Let's go.
Dr. Rosie Milligan, one of the most sought-after speakers on the circuit today. Her live internet talk show, Express Yourself, is the most provocative, thought-provoking, and talked about radio show on the internet. There's no holds barred, and Dr. Milligan puts the B in bold. She brings it every Tuesday live at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Rosie has been proclaimed the most provocative female writer of the century. Her books include Satisfying the Black Man and Black Woman Sexually Made Simple, Why Black Men Choose White Women, and the book Nigga Please. These books have raised eyebrows across the country. She has authored 21 books and published 350 titles for authors nationwide. Check Dr. Rosie out at drrosie.com for her books, articles, and archives of her internet talk show. Sit at the feet of wisdom. Dr. Milligan is indeed a timekeeper and scorekeeper. She is the clock, calendar, and almanac for Black America. You need to hear her.
Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Top of the morning. You'll listen to the Express Yourself Hour. Oh, yeah, that's right. I am your host, Dr. Rosie Milligan, coming to you live, always with nothing but straight talk. Yes, that's how we do it around here. I have two wonderful co-hosts, Mr. Keith Swanson, the Invisible Man. Every time I think about how Keith is all out in the mix and these people still have not found him. Money on the table, money on the table. You got until, I tell you what, Shawanna, after March 25th, Black Rise on Tour, we're going to end this contest because they just cannot find Keith, okay? They lost a lot of money last year because it went back to zero, came December 31st. Party's building back up now. When you find Keith, you hear his voice. He's always out among you. Just grab and catch him, hold on to him, and call me and say, I got him. You got money coming. Keith, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Dr. Rosie. I'm going to convert myself to an AI in a minute. So.
Oh, my God, you guys. Shawanna, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Dr. Rosie. I was just thinking what Keith should do at the at our show in March.
Yeah.
He should put on his voice. He should just have his little microphone and just talk into the microphone, not letting anyone know where it's coming from.
Oh, no, you sound like an Easter egg hunt.
Let's make it fun since you're canceling it after March.
Yeah, they be grabbing people that not Keith. You Keith or you Keith?
I heard his voice.
Yeah, that's gonna be funny. Okay.
Yes,
so,
yes,
Shawanna,
yes.
You racking up in that real estate, huh?
I'm getting ready to start now. This is the time. The market is changing and shifting, and you know, the more deals are going to be out there now. So people are scared because the rates are rising. Don't be scared. There's more deals. Rates will go back down eventually, but properties will go back up. So it's time to buy.
Is property kind of going down a little bit? I thought I
heard
that.
It is. Yeah, it's going down. I would say like 10 to 20%, somewhere 18% in different areas, but it definitely is going down. They're not putting it out there saying that it's going down. Some people are reporting it, but it definitely is going down. It's shifting, and properties are sitting a little bit longer on the market, which makes it, you know, pretty soon we'll have a buyer's market as opposed to a seller's market.
Right. Well, you guys, I think we have an interesting conversation today, and it's really going to scare you to death when you really think about what the poverty level is. And there's so many people, they don't know they're living in poverty, I guess. Maybe it's good that you don't know. Shoot, if somebody told you and you really looked it up, it might scare you to death. But anyway, today we're going to talk about the 5 things that middle class. Do we have how many middle class we got left, Keith?
I think it's only like the top 20% are considered middle class now. It's getting so bad. I
know. So we're going to talk about the 5 things the middle class, those who are still there, must do to prevent slipping into poverty. Because those who were there, middle class, and those who were the upper class, never thought they would be middle class. And those who were middle class was real comfortable. That was the people who basically had a home or two, a dog and a cat, double car garage, was able to send their kids to college without loans. What are some of the other things the middle class used to be able to do?
You used to be able to support a whole family on one income. A long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
Middle class. That made you middle class. You
Travel.
could have a stay-at-home wife, or
Travel.
well, family vacations. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely.
Save for retirement. Yeah.
Okay. They had retirement.
Buying
many of-
extra stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
Which made them fall down a little bit in the class level. That extra stuff.
Men were able to cheat.
Well, they could cheat when they're poor. Then you don't have to be middle class to cheat. I think more cheat goes on in the poor class than in the middle class.
No.
Middle class has more to lose, so they cheat less.
Okay.
They're like, oh no, I'll be gone down.
Well,
they'll be like, the wife would be like, Huff, Eddie, Huff.
Mm-hmm.
I want Huff.
Half, yeah. Half Eddie.
Well, they were able to cheat more because the wife wasn't missing the money because the bills were being paid. In other words, they had a little extra. Men had a little play money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have that play money now. So if you go pay that other woman's car, no wife gonna be missing something, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the other woman can't ask for nothing because you ain't got it.
Wow. The middle class. That's interesting. I remember back in the days when almost everybody in your neighborhood basically were at least middle class. You know, they had 2 cars and were doing okay. Of course, they had a lot of credit cards in their pocket. Remember, Shawanna, everybody had about 20 credit cards, and they could write it off on their taxes, too. So all that stuff changed.
Right.
So now we're looking at a handful of people that's slipping into poverty. My goodness. So we need to look at how do you keep from going there? What do you do? So I would say the very first thing a person needs to do for real is to make financial literacy a priority for themselves and for their family. It just has to be a table topic conversation. The household is going to have to look at this thing called finance. That's going to be so important. I remember one time when, families don't really sit around and talk about what's going on with the budget and the money because I guess the parents don't want the kids to know, but I was never like that. I wanted them to know, look, y'all, we got a 3-day notice on this light bill. You better call grandma or call who you know.
Mm-hmm.
No, I kept it open seriously with what was going on in my household with finance. And I remember once my daughter was asking for something. I said, well, we can get these light bills down and then maybe we can do some of this stuff. Keith, they start policing each other. Mama, he got the light on and he's not even in the room. He got the TV on and he's outside playing. They start policing each other. These are the kind of conversations really going to have to come back into the house. You're going to have to let your family know how you're doing. Let them know how they can help to preserve the little money that's coming in. Otherwise, it won't take no time to slip into poverty. Mm-hmm. Basic thing, Keith, just like planning your meals. It's little thing that people can do to stay aboard. Everybody eating out. Nobody's cooking. Nobody like leftovers.
Mm-hmm.
It's little thing. Financial literacy is going to have to be talked about, and it needs to become everybody's business. You have to set a goal. If you want to not slip into poverty, you're going to have to set a financial goal for your family. And once you do that, everyone is going to have to write down their part that they can play in curtailing bills and helping to have more money brought in that household. It should be a family affair. I think that's the problem, Keith. The reason families are struggling, because it's not a family affair. You know, everybody's operating the way we do culturally, individually. I got mine, here mine, this is yours. So it's gotten so bad now that many homes, everybody got a little refrigerator in their bedroom.
Yeah, they're operating like roommates.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want you to touch this. Folks, poverty is no joke. And it doesn't take long to slip into it. So that's why we're really having this conversation today. Financial literacy is at the top of the list.
Yeah.
You know, when you see something on sale, I've had people call me, told me Macy's was going out of business. I said, and well, you can get some good deal. It's nothing I need right now. But just in case, get it anyway. You're not going to see this sale again. Folks, that's insanity.
Yeah,
so we say financial literacy at the top of the list.
Yeah. The habits. Yeah.
Yes. Debt elimination is number 2. Folks, that's killing people. Keith, do you realize that the interest rates on these major credit cards, it used to be if you had good credit, 8, score of 8 or 750 or whatever, you would be looking at a low rate of interest. Do you know, I think they're charging everybody the same amount of interest?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, even with good credit, you may be looking at 26% interest, like on a Best Buy, Sears, and Penny. It used to didn't be that way, Shawanna. You had good credit, but no.
No, the bank, they got to make dough, got to make money.
Well, they got to make money.
And the I think I was just listening to this morning, the credit card debt for Americans is like $1 trillion now.
What?
Mm-hmm.
You're right, because a lot of people are actually living off their credit cards.
Living off the credit cards. He was just saying that this morning.
Wow. Well,
and it's not going to get easier because the rates are going to keep going up, at least for this year.
Well, I tell you what, debt elimination needs to be on the top of everybody's list.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how can you afford, you buy a car, and people going to have them a car. If they got bad credit and they tell them that the interest rate is 29%, they don't care.
No, they don't.
Get them a car. But you can never get a toehold paying all this high interest rate.
No.
I'm going to get a number, Keith. I think we have a caller already.
We do have a caller.
The number is 310-928-7733. 310-928-7733. Or you can email us here at innerlightradio@yahoo.com. Caller, we're going to take your call, and then we'll come back to our discussion. Go ahead, caller. Give me your name, where you're calling from, and what's your take?
Yeah, 323, you're first. Caller. Okay. All right, 760. Caller. Okay, I guess you're listening.
Okay. Debt elimination is a priority, not for the father, not for the mother. I mean, for the whole house. You need to be talking to your children about debt and about interest rates. When my son was 19, I believe, he had a credit card. I think it's at K's Jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
They put on that credit card, he was paying, I think, $8 a month for disability. They told him he was 18, in case he lose his job, and he was paying something else. In other words, the monthly payment wasn't going down at all because they had all this other stuff.
Right.
So when he showed it to me, I said, what job you going to lose? What if he hadn't thought about it. So to this day, he does not want credit. And I tell him, you need credit.
Mm-hmm.
You just need to make sure you pay your bills on time. But people never think about that. You get into disability insurance. Look what you're paying. So you got to look at that. Sit down with your kids and teach them. Show them your bill. When you get a bill that come in that house and it says, if you pay, and they'll tell you. That's what's the strange key. They say, if you pay according to your regular monthly payment, here how long it's going to take you to pay this off, and here how much you're going to pay. Because I have an American Express card, and they show it every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
what the payoff is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. but people still continue to make their minimum payment.
Yeah.
I'm saying that because you'll never get a saving unless you tap into financial literacy, eliminate debt, and when you get that bill paid off, don't go make another one. Save that money, or I was about to say invest it, but right now, a lot of people are afraid to make investment. You just don't risk money that can cause you harm later. I'll put it that way. With investment, it's still nothing wrong with investment because you can't make it to the top just off working for somebody.
No, you can't.
So you got to save. Folks, let me tell you something. If you have a mortgage, you should have 12 months. And if you can't do 12, at least 6 months. I'm sure Shawanna, that's what you teach your clients. At least 6 months of your mortgage note should be in an account somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Why am I saying this? Because if not, look what happened to you. People think, well, I'm young, I'm in good health. Folks, it's not about good health. My son, Keith, the one that's the musician, plays for churches, plays for funerals, does a lot of stuff, does hair. But he failed. So he thought everything was kind of okay. So he was putting this on it, this sad. Somebody else will put this on it, do this. So about 3 weeks ago, he was playing at a funeral. Leg just became numb. Then he started having pain.
Okay.
And by that Sunday, that Monday, he called me screaming, please come take me to the emergency room. They had to do emergency surgery. Had to remove a disc and fuse 3.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Put in a rod. Okay? Now, he was well. So, I'm saying this because you don't know. You don't have to be sick. You need to have your money saved. If you're renting, you need to have your rent money saved. If it's mortgage, so whatever you're doing, I don't care what your spending is. I don't care what you need to make a sacrifice and make that a goal for the whole household. This is what we have to cut back on. This is what we have to save. And then you explain to them, if I don't do this, if you guys don't cooperate, it's going to impact all of us, because if something happened and I can't work, it won't be just me homeless. You got to tell them.
Right.
See, y'all got to be real with these kids. That means all of us could be homeless. Oh, you don't tell your kids nothing like that. You don't want to scare them.
No, you got to. We if it's something that's dangerous, like we scare them if they have about cars and streets. Scare them about things that are hot, like electricity and stuff like that. We make sure we put the fear of God into them. So, what's the difference?
Absolutely. Now, the next thing is, this is a big one. Delayed gratification. I got to have it right now. They just put out a new phone. I got to have it right now. Keith, there's something wrong with people when they are not in the upper class financially to keep with the spending habit. Have you noticed it? I'm looking.
It's mainly with the people that are middle class, because rich people practice delayed gratification all the time. They learn it. That's how they got to where they are. So the people that do have money practice it all the time.
And that's how they got it, because they are doing what we are talking about. The middle class must do now to keep from slipping into poverty. Folks, it don't take but a minute to drop that lever.
The Jewish people call it restriction. How to put off what you really desire today and put it off until you can actually set up to get it in the right frame. So. So rich people, Shawanna can tell you, people that do have money, they teach it to their children, delayed gratification.
Well, my thing is, when you want something, let's say you want that phone, and you're like, oh, God, I want that phone. I got to have that phone. I say, okay, you can get the phone, but you got to save 3 times the amount of that phone. And once you get to the 4th one, then you can go ahead and spend the money on that phone. But at least save 3 times the amount of whatever you want to purchase
Mm-hmm.
and then you can go ahead and buy it. And if you live in an apartment building, don't go out and buy a Mercedes. They don't go together.
The Mercedes in the projects. Huh?
What you said?
I mean,
Don't
don't
go
do
together.
it. Just don't do it. But buy yourself a property first. Buy something that's going to go up in value, that's going to increase instead of decrease. I mean, you want to increase your liabilities and decrease your debts. You don't want to have the debt. So I think that you want to increase what you're owning so that your portfolio grows and your bank account grows. But if you buy the stuff that doesn't matter, it's like you said, delayed gratification. Wait to get gratified.
And you know what's so funny about that? Our guest last week talked about how many people, and I know you know it too, Shawanna, being in real estate, how many people would misqualify for a loan only because they had that high car note.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just knocked them down. Their debt to ratio knocked them out because they had a $700 car note.
And it's not just it's just not their car note either. It's their credit cards. If you owe money on your credit card, that lowers your chances of getting a loan as well because you have high debt. When you have high debt, people don't want a loan to you. But if you had 5 credit cards with 0 on there, they will definitely open up another credit card for you. But if you have 5 credit cards and they're over the amount or pretty close to what they gave you on the limit, they're not going to loan you any more money because your debt ratio is really bad. So you have to reduce that debt altogether and start investing as opposed to spending, because now is the time to invest. Now is the time to save. Now is the time that everybody comes together and really plan out what they're going to be doing for tomorrow because like you said, 6 months, it matters having that 6 months cushion. It's a cushion to make sure that you don't fall behind. So you have to have that 6 months, and you have to encourage your children. If you have your children live with you, you have to encourage them to give you money to take care of the bills, because when you make them crippled, and that's what you're doing, you're crippling them, you're not making them be responsible for themselves. And then when it's time for you and you know that you're in your last leg, you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen with my children? You don't want to wait until then. You want to train them and teach them and show them how to live a life good and help you live a life good, because once you teach them, they're going to help you live an even better life.
And it becomes generational, your kids. I think we have a call. Caller, go ahead.
760, do you want to chime in? Caller?
Okay.
Area code 760.
Yes, I just want to say thank you, Dr. Rose.
Hello?
Okay.
Your knowledge, helping people. This is Cindy from Apple Valley.
Oh, hi, Cindy.
I try and listen to everything. I get emotional because you are so right, and I try and tell everyone about you. I'm so thankful that my sister enlightened me about you. I just want to say thank you, and to all of the people who help you show us this is the way. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you. And see, each one teach one, you guys. It's so important. See, I think what people don't realize, that your kids will do what they see you do. My kids never saw me going into these little swap meets, buying from all these people. They saw me going out of my way to shop with black folks. And that's what they do right today. Because that's what they saw me do. My daughter called me from Bakersfield. She said, Mama, trying to find me a black person a pool man. Everything they do. Because that's what they saw me do. So, folks, we have to. They saw me saving, not spending money on everything. So they don't do it. Now, my son, the youngest one, that's the one I'm going to need to do the DNA on. But you can't.
Oh my God! Isn't that something? Do DNA on your own kids.
You can't go to court. You done let somebody get almost 50. Now you try to tell the judge he ain't yours.
Hospital mixed up the baby, huh?
Yes. 'Cause, he was getting all those tennis shoes when I got on him about it. Well, you said start a business. I'm gonna go sell these shoes. I said, let's get to selling them. Okay.
Wow.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh.
People buying tennis shoes off when you put up a sign. I just see them sitting around the house in boxes. Okay. But
Mhm.
folks, they do what they see you do. You waste food,
Mhm.
they'll waste it. If I ain't gonna eat no leftovers, then you rear children up who saying, I ain't gonna eat no leftovers. I'm gonna tell you something. I wrote a book called Getting Out of Debt Made Simple, who will show you how to save $6,000 a year without increasing your income. Folks, the average person can save at least $100 or so a month from the kitchen. Do you guys
Mhm.
hear what I said? From
From the
the
kitchen.
kitchen. You can
Mhm.
do it. All you have to do is make your list, plan your menus. I mean, you need to get that book. It'll show you all the things. People don't understand how much money they spend on gasoline in their car because they ride around with a trunk load full of stuff and they keep waiting till the car get almost empty before they refill it. Folks, there's
Mhm.
basic things. I'm going to take this call and I'm going to come back to that. Go ahead, caller. Caller?
323, caller.
Okay. I think it's 310
That,
420.
that, that's Shawanna. Um,
That's Shawanna.
Yes,
76
ma'am.
already chimed in. 323. You want to chime in? Okay. I guess those chime
I
in when you
think,
get ready. Go ahead.
well, I actually just called in to listen,
Okay.
but I'm just taking in the information. My name is Andrea, and unfortunately, when I was growing up as a child, I wasn't taught a lot of these things.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely nothing, really. Didn't see it happening, good financial literacy habits within my home and the people around me. And so as an adult, I was just flying by the seat of my pants, and I was on my own. But things that I learned over the years, I've tried to teach my daughter. She's a young adult, but as a child, I tried to teach her some things. And basically everything you all are talking about is right on point. And so I'm just hoping that what I've learned and I've instilled in my daughter, that she will pass it on to her children as well. And I'm at a late age, but I believe it's never too late to learn new habits, change habits, and also educate people in your family and share whatever you learn, pass it on to other people in your family, your friends, and that's what I do. So I appreciate the reminder. I appreciate the information, and I'm definitely using it to apply to my life.
Thank you so much. That's why I did the book, Getting Out of Debt Made Simple. And sometimes people say, well, I'm not in debt. I swear, if you use the procedures that I'm giving you, it will cause you to have an increase in your income. So it does two things. It teaches people how to get out of debt, and it also gives you the principles of being able to save more money. That when we say financial literacy, everybody needs to have a budget. You need to have a budget for the household you got. I'm telling you, because it won't take you long to slip into poverty. The average person, if their car break down, they have to wait till they get paid, some people, to get a battery. Folks, that's not the way to live. You don't have to live like that. I don't care how small amount of income you're making. There's a way that you can carve out and put away savings. Everybody should have an emergency fund. Now, those who are listening, you write that down. You need to create an emergency fund. You need to set up your fund for what you call is happy time, vacation. Don't just jump up. You haven't saved anything. Then you pull out those credit cards, get a ticket for you and all the kids. Now you got all that high rate of interest. Folks, that's headed to poverty when you live like that. You should have that money set aside. How much money are we going to spend this year on vacation?
Yeah.
And stay within that budget.
Yeah, I have a good friend I'm trying to counsel, and he makes over six figures. To counsel him to put away money, and the way he was raised, the way where most black people are raised, man, it's like you have to spend it down to zero unless like the money's gonna get away. It's like okay, put something away. I said you got money coming in, save some of it for an emergency fund. Start put some of that money away now that you're making a decent amount of money. But the thing is the mentality of I got to spend it to zero.
Because you're going to have an emergency.
Yeah.
Oh, you will have an emergency.
And it has happened. It has happened where it's got to wait to payday. I said, you make six figures, but you have to wait to payday. It doesn't make sense. I said, you got to start, you got to slow down on your buying. Okay. Just, everything that you see, you don't have to buy it. Don't have to buy it right now. That's the delayed gratification. Okay? You don't have to buy it now. You can wait. Okay. Just build some money up. Because black people are used to being in in fact, I have to give this credit to Jamal about being in black families, actually survival units, right? And they're used to working on survival mode. That if I don't spend this money now, I'm not going to have it at the end of the month because there's always something that's going to happen. And if I don't get what I want now, the money's going to go up in flames, at the end of the month. And that's the way they think. If I don't enjoy it now, it's going to go away. And
okay.
Yes,
that's why in the country, that's why our forefathers canned food.
Yes.
I mean, they were on it. They would can because they knew it was going to be a rainy day. They would always have something. They made sure there was always food. Yeah. They didn't have the money to say, I'm putting a whole lot in the bank that my kids will always have food. So what did they do? They made preparation.
Yeah.
So we're not canning, but we certainly need to have some money saved. I mean, the average person, if they didn't get their Social Security check on time, they in a crisis.
Yeah.
And I know one lady, Keith, she told me she had now saved like $25,000. And she said it's been because for I think the last 15 years or whatever, all of her income tax money she put in that account. She said, well, I lived all the year without it. Why do I have to go spend it? I said, wow. Wow, that is something, isn't it? The average person, if they hear that they're going to get a raise on their job, they're going to make a dent. Haven't even gotten the first raise. just heard that we're going to get a raise. You guys, you just heard about it, and they went and bought something. As soon as they get that tax check.
Yep. Got to spend it. Got to spend it.
Well, I'm here to tell you're on the road to poverty. And it won't take you long to get there. And I'm telling you, when you get there, it's not easy to bounce back. So let
me ask you this, Dr. Rosie, because I've been shamed for this my whole life, right? The
and
black
caller, we're coming right to you in a minute.
Right.
310, hold on.
If you're frugal, right? If you're frugal or you frugal with your money, black folks call you tight.
They will.
They call you tight. They call you cheap. And it's not that you're cheap, but the thing is that you're not tight or cheap when they need money or they need help.
Yeah, you're the one they always come to when they get ready to repossess their house or their car, but they've been talking about you before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just wonder where does that come from? Because I've had it all my life, because I grew up and I hated being broke and you need money and have to go beg people. I hated begging people for money. So I've always put something away. Okay. Yeah. Something away just in case. And I've been called tight my whole life. Well, look he's tight. He won't spend it. Look, he won't, he don't give up that money easily, So
well, they do that to me.
But you have to do that. You have to save up for a rainy day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I look at our lives.
Shawanna, let's take to 310 and I'm going to come back to you.
Let's go ahead.
Go ahead, caller. 310. Caller.
I think 301 went already. We have another 301. Okay,
Caller, go ahead. Give us
go
your
ahead.
name. Tell us where you're calling from. Okay. So,
Okay, go
Keith.
ahead, Shawanna.
Hmm.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay,
Shawanna.
yeah,
You
I
were
was
gonna
just
say?
gonna say our lives are like I kind of I kind of look at it like the summer, spring, the season, summer, spring, winter,
Mm,
and fall, and we
mm,
know winter is going to come. We do know
mm,
winter is going to come, and just
mm,
like the bears prepare, for hibernation and things like that. And
mm,
because we know the winter is going to come, we should always start to prepare. Always be ready for the winter because the fun is going to be here, which is the summertime and the vacation time and all of that time. But the winter is going to be here right after that. So prepare
Exactly.
for it. Know that you have to prepare. Know that you have to save. Know that you have to invest. And I think I learned that because I'm in the real estate market
mm,
and I in the field, and by buying real estate, there's times when you're not making money. So you have to learn how to save
mm,
so that you build up your back end so that you can
mm,
relax even when you're not making any money. It's really important to know that those times are going to come and
mm.
not to spend your money just. And I am one of those frugal people. To be very honest with you, I'm very frugal. I like
That's why
that.
you own all those homes and stuff. Folks, it
Mhm.
is important. One of my customers, I said one day, I said, well, I need to get me a car. I just don't want to put any more money in this car. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I would never buy a brand new car. Okay. I don't care how
Mhm.
much money I get. I'm not going to buy a brand new car because they're different that I can save in that I can invest in. Okay. But
Mhm.
anyway, I bought
Exactly.
this car and he came, did you get your car, Doc? I said, yeah. I jumped up. I was so excited, keep running out to show him my car. It was
Mhm.
a Chevy Captiva. I
Okay.
bought it. It was 2 years old. Had seven
Mhm.
thousand miles on it.
Oh,
He
great, good
he
deal. Yeah.
he looked at me. He said, "I thought you were gonna get a car."
Oh God.
I said, "Now why am I gonna spend all that money on a car that I'm gonna drive up here to 1425 West Manchester every day,
uh,
okay,
Mhm.
and let
uh,
it sit?" I mean,
yeah.
but that's how people think. So they call me
Mhm.
cheap Keith, you know. So once upon a time, this guy told us, he said, if I saw you and your husband arguing and couldn't nobody break it up, I would throw some money on the ground. I bet y'all stop.
Maybe.
Mhm.
Y'all would stop and try to see who's gonna pick it up. But folks, I'm telling you, poverty is knocking on your door. That's why it's important. Because when it happens, people talk about the thing. Oh, you just a Jamaican. What you gonna do now? If you that's number that's one of the numbers in here. You better create more than one source of income.
Come. Mhm.
That would scare the
That's what
hell
it's
out of
saying.
me to think that if I only had a job and nothing else worked, well, I would have high blood pressure behind that. Also, knowing that if someone come in, because a friend of mine's daughter got a notice, they were laying them off. They didn't even get a week's notice, like a day or so. Think
Mhm.
about it, folks. If you're out there right now and your job closes up tomorrow,
Mhm.
what's your backup? Your unemployment certainly is enough to even pay your rent. What is your backup? If you don't have a backup plan, you are headed to the city called poverty.
Mhm.
And that's no joke. And what happens when you get to poverty? Number one, most time you end up having problem with your kids, having problem with yourself in the divorce court. And it's really nothing to split. It's just two broke Negroes that stood before the judge, okay?
Mhm.
You guys, this is nothing to play with. You got to do some sacrifice so the next generation can have something. You don't have to have a new car. You don't. That instant gratification, the average person have 25 and 30 pair of shoes and only wear 2 pair that don't hurt, and the rest of them send them in the closet. I know I'm talking to somebody out there. Call 310-928-7733, 310-928-7733, or email us at innerlightradio@yahoo.com. We are talking about 5 things the middle class can do to prevent slipping into poverty. Now, if you use some of these same principles, if you've already gotten there, somebody say, I'm already there. We're going to talk about that too. We have a new caller. Caller, go ahead, give us your name.
Hello, is that me?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Paul from LA, and you were talking about your books, and you were talking about, money and everything. You talked about one of the first books that you wrote was Getting Out of Debt Made Simple. I think the first book that you wrote was Starting a Business Made Simple, and you had to write that second book because people were starting a business and they were trying to do ideas that you didn't put in there, and they ended up going broke. All right. Then you had to write the book about, satisfying the black woman because the men were doing an entrepreneurial thing, and the women were saying, hey, wait a minute, you're not at home. I said, well, I'm trying to make some money. All right. Then there's another book I was thinking about, this goes back to when you were talking about somebody got on my case about, hey, I'm not married because I couldn't afford it. Remember George Subira, may he rest in peace? He wrote that book, Money Issues in Black Male-Female Relationships.
Yeah.
Okay, because if you don't have an understanding with the person that you love that you want to marry, you're not going to stay married very long. And I have seen that happen.
That's why it is so important. And Paul, you brought up a great point. And he knew more about my books, and he's absolutely right. I did do Starting a Business Made Simple, and people never had enough money. They always started out short. So I said, well, let's figure out the way that we can make more money with what we have. Learn how to, and I give all those steps, like 75 ways that you can save money and how it should be a family participation. Paul, thanks for reminding me. And all those go hand in hand. You get out of debt, you start your business. We're talking about economics because it is important in relationship and with yourself. And Keith, Paul brought out a great point because I'm telling you right today, I've surveyed men across this country, black men, and the number one reason that many of them tell me they're not married because they say, well, I can't afford to be married. And I'm saying you can't afford not to be married because 2 incomes are better than 1.
Okay, look at it this way, Dr. Rosie. Okay, maybe you could afford to get married. What you can't afford is the divorce. Okay.
Well, if you got 2 peas in the pot and neither one of them have anything going, I mean, you just walking in the court. There's nothing to get from anybody.
If you got 2 savers, that's fine. What if you have 2 spenders?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay. And what is the most expensive thing in a marriage? The wedding. Not the house, the wedding.
Yeah, now that's foolish. Now, I can just say the money. I knew someone spent $40,000 on the wedding. They stayed together 6 months. So Paul, money is everything. That's why we're talking about a lot of divorces is because of financial things. Think about it. When you broke, Keith, you ever been broke?
Yeah, been broke.
Okay. Did you have the same mindset? Were you just as pleasant? Were you just as lovable?
I was miserable.
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
I was miserable.
That's right. And when you're miserable, you can't make people around you be happy.
No, you can't.
I'm going to say that again. When you're miserable, you cannot make those around you be happy because you're radiating. They're picking up your energy. And that's what happened to your kids. That's what happened to everybody. A home with poverty-stricken people, you have problems. Okay? And like this man told me, he said they didn't have any money. They were struggling. And I think he hit a little lottery or something, and he came home. He said he hadn't had sex with his wife in over a month. My head hurt. I'm on my period. I'm this. She was on the phone. He came home and threw that money on the bed. He said it was the best night he had. Now, I'm just
right.
I'm
One
just
way to do
telling
it.
you what he told me, okay? So, I mean, with people living in poverty, they missing a whole lot. You cannot tell me
hmm
folks who are struggling financially backward are just as lovable, or just as sensual, just as sexy.
Mm.
You are lying. The truth ain't in it. I don't care. Call up here and tell that lie if you want to. You cannot tell me that it doesn't change your sexual mood. It changes your behavior. It changes everything.
Now that makes me wonder about your friend a few months ago, who would, was talking about her boyfriend threw the money on the bed, and she got an attitude like, well, you might think I'm a prostitute or something. I'm like, okay, there's some convoluted logic going on over there.
Yeah, something wrong with that picture. Throw it on my bed. I bet I won't complain.
Don't say that too loud, Rosie. What if I hit the lottery?
Call me. Oh, so you guys, it is so important. But to go in that poverty, I see too many people on that road, and they don't even know they're on it. So, hey, you're right there. Turn left. You are right there. When you're living from check to check. And let me just give you an example. Say you make $15 an hour. I calculated that when they talk about the federal poverty guideline, if two in the family, 18,000. Now, you can't pay rent on $18,000? Because the average place is what, like 1,800
Yeah.
or 15 for a studio.
Yeah.
My goodness. And it has for 8 people, 46,000. That's nothing. How are you going to eat? Look, you guys, we can't control the gasoline. We can't control how they have jacked up the gas in your house. My gas bill was $667,
Yeah. Yeah. I think they're taking advantage of the
And
situation.
and I was so mad. And in fact, my staff, he pays my bills for me. So he said, Doc, you want me to pay? I said, pay half of it. And when I got home, I thought, now you know that's messing. Now you know I got the money to pay my bill. I just didn't want to give them $667. I just paid half of it. I was just so angry. But we can't control that. We can't control the increase in foods because they're going out to lunch. Some people told me they're paying $11 for a dozen eggs.
Yeah, I've heard that.
There are so many things, you guys, we cannot control. But those things that we can control, we better get a hold to it. We really better, So it's just, if you don't want to slip to that poverty level, you also need to do what as a family? You better prepay for burial or cremation, however you want to go out of here. Because if you don't, the little money you do have, you're going to work on emotion, and you're going to spend $15,000 to $20,000 to bury somebody. I'm just talking to folks about common sense things that we need to do so we can back up off of that poverty. It doesn't make sense. I know one guy said that his mother always wanted to be buried in a blue casket. I said, did she have any insurance? No, she didn't have no insurance. I said, okay. That should end that conversation right there. Right there. Okay? Now, the other thing, folks, please, maintain good credit. Don't buy something that you can't afford. Pay your bills on time. Because, here you go, poverty again. Because if you ever, somebody sell the property, you're doing okay now. Well, I'm staying with my mama. Okay? Mama died. Y'all can't afford to keep the house. She didn't have a trust, so it's going to probate.
Right.
Here you go. You can't afford to refinance that house because she got poor credit. Now you're trying to get an apartment. Folks, try to get an apartment with poor credit and see what happens. They want to see your bank statement. I remember a time you could get your friend to say you would rent from them, Shawanna. I mean, Keith, this technology got you on lockdown. Sure, they can call your friend. You say, oh, yeah, I was a landlord. They want to see your bank statement, your last 3 months bank statement.
Mm-hmm.
You guys understand what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
So you can't lie your way through it anymore. If you say they want you to make 2.5 times. So if their rent is $1,500, which I don't know what you're gonna find for $1,500, not even a garage that's turned into a place.
Right.
So that's $3,000. That's $4,200. How many people making that a month? So if you can't show that running through your bank statement, you're not getting an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you need to maintain good credit. I'm talking about to keep from slipping into that poverty. That's important. So that's what you need to be teaching your kids. And a tip. Let's see. Keith, let me know if we have another caller.
No, not yet.
I think we had something on the board that we didn't read. We will.
Oh, it's coming from Dr. J. He said, they call me cheap, but I ain't never been interested in buying a bunch of random stuff.
Well, I tell you, we got to make a change.
Yeah.
Yeah. So credit is one of those things that can keep you from slipping into poverty because you get over your head and that job send you home or lay you off. Now you got bad credit. Now you have to file bankrupt. Folks, I'm just trying to tell you how to present this kind of stuff. And how do you present it? By being aware.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got to get ahead of it. Yeah, I mean, we're living in it right now because these interest rates are not going to stop going up right now, and inflation is going to keep happening. You know, on one end, and the layoffs are just starting. So, and they've you know, when you get people like Google and Amazon and Microsoft laying off people, you know that your job is not secure. Okay.
And they were paying good salary, right, Keith?
Oh, they were paying 6 figures and above. So, got people in San Francisco had houses and stuff like that. And they got laid off, so they have they living in $2 million houses, and all of a sudden, you know, half of that income goes, and then now they have to figure something out.
You better call them family member who rented and tell them to come on in and rent a room. Folks, I don't care what happened. My daddy used to always, and I learned this, and he taught me, and I live by that. There's a way out of no way. There's always a way, but you have to get to that way. Okay.
Right.
So some people just throw up their hand. Oh, I'm gonna have to move. No, there's a whole lot of good people out there who looking to rent a room. There are people who've had their children who were renting to move back home to save their house. Come on, be smart.
Yeah.
Don't lose any property. I'm saying to black folks, don't you lose a piece of property they're not going to make anymore. And it's important for you to have good property. And those who are married, poverty, one of the reasons there's so much poverty in our community, because we have so many people who are single, divorcing. And every time you divorce, you create a new generation of poverty. Because most time, you end up having to sell that house. So I'm saying those who are not married, if you can find somebody that's compatible, don't be scared. Go on and get married. Because you may think it's cute now to jump up and leave, and I can do bad all by myself. I don't even want to do bad by myself.
The thing is that
those power of words, right? Power of the words.
Yeah.
Dr. Rosie, marriage used to be way out of poverty. Right now, you find people don't want to get married unless they're rich. They earn 6 figures. Yeah, that makes sense.
And they go look what he got. And I want to say, baby, let me tell you something. I see what you got right now. Is it paid for? But no, well, you ain't got it. I'm going to say that again because y'all go to church Sunday, ask the pastor that you make an announcement. All of y'all who's sitting out there thinking you got something, you ain't got nothing. If any calamity confront you, your house is gone, you don't even have enough insurance to pay your medical until you leave here. You don't know how long you're going to get here. In fact, next week we're going to have someone coming on talking, giving you the real raw deal about Medicare.
Mm-hmm.
How long they would pay for you to be in the hospital. So don't be boastful. Just take in what I'm trying to tell you. It doesn't take but one slip to slide you right on over into poverty.
Right.
Because if you get sick, I guarantee you're going to pay every dime you have to try to get well.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So don't ever think that you can lay back and say, well, I'm doing good.
Mm-hmm. No, that's true. That is so true. I mean, I've seen it 3 times recently.
Right.
Life changes, and it's like no one even expected. So tomorrow is not promised to anyone. How you feeling today is not promised tomorrow. Anything can happen. Be grateful. Live your life the best. And if you can live your life the best, saving your money, investing your money, and protecting your money, because, unfortunately, we're all getting older and things happen.
Exactly.
And things happen.
Yeah.
And for those who
and
are
medicine
younger,
is not cheap.
No, it's
no,
not.
it is not.
Oh,
I had someone tell me $9,500 a month for medicine. I said, "Are you kidding me? What are you talking about? Don't you have insurance?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's with insurance." I said, "Are you kidding?
Wow.
Are you kidding? That sounds ludicrous."
They need
but
to
it's out there and it's happening. And what about the people on dialysis? If you don't have the money to take care of dialysis, you're dead.
Yeah, you're dead. Yeah,
you're dead. And it's like $18,000 a week.
Do you realize
$6,000 each time you go?
Do you realize how many people are dead because they could not afford to have the proper medical care? I went to this eye specialist, and I was telling my girlfriend, I was telling Barbara, they was talking about, the price for cataract surgery, and they have this little chart key, and it shows you if you pay this amount, you'll see this what your vision will be. I'm not lying.
Stop it.
I'm not lying. I'm going to send it to you guys.
Oh, my God.
She didn't believe it. And it says you pay this amount, this will be the clarity. She said, you lied. I brought it from the doctor's office, showed it to her.
I want to see that.
I'm going to get
yeah, you got to see that. I got to see that one myself.
How much
I want to see that with Dr. Rosie.
Yeah, I get it. Your clarity and vision will be based on the amount of money you pay. I guess you go to the dentist. He said, "I feel half of your tooth if you got this amount."
Oh yeah. You get the cheap feeling. Okay.
Folks, I'm telling you, y'all better hear me, because it don't take no time to slip into that poverty. And why is it important? Because when you slip into it, 9 times out of 10, your kids will be slipping into it too, because you leaving them nothing. Something's on the board. Keith, read that for me.
He's saying about people in San Francisco. People are renting out a bedroom, not a 1-bedroom apartment, for $2,700 a month in San Francisco. That's true. They're also renting out for $2,500 a month mobile homes. Okay.
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you know what, Dr. Rosie, you said something really important when Keith said that someone was losing their property, possibly $2 million, and you said don't. Get rid of your property, keep your property. A lot of times we get caught up in the stuff that you have, and you feel like immediately when something like that happens, I don't even think they think about renting out their room, their house. They think about, I got to go ahead and sell. So you're right, because you're getting rid of your asset. When you sell your property, you get rid of your asset. Once you get rid of your asset, the money that you make off of it, you're going to have to pay the taxes on it. So, and then once that's gone, it's gone. So, rent out your property. Don't get rid of it. If you find yourself in a bind, clean out one of those rooms, make it beautiful. Think about that $2,700 a month for that room, or the most that you could get, whatever. Yeah.
Find a way. If something like that would happen to me, I would, if I had to go move in with one of my friends and rent the whole damn house out, I ain't losing my property.
Right,
I'm just saying. I'm dead serious. Y'all ain't getting my stuff, okay?
Yeah.
Dr. J says capitalism is the devil. If the system is charging you for a certain level of health care according to your ability to pay.
Keith, I can show. I'll go back and find the brochure. I'm telling you, I said she ought to be ashamed to put pamphlet up in her office, letting people know that this is that's right. The more you pay, the better you can see after that cataract surgery.
Which level of clarity do you want, huh?
So well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna leave you alone with all of them. I got some herbs. I got some herbs, and it's cleared my eyes.
They're like this negotiation on the price comes both ways, not just your way.
Shoot, honey, you pushing me you pushing me to Mother Earth. You pushing me to roots, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. And speaking of that, people take your health. Health is wealth. A lot of people have slipped into poverty because of sickness. I'm going to repeat that. Whole families have gone into poverty because of sickness. And not just self-imposed sickness. I want to add that. Self-imposed issues. So folks, take care of your health. When they say health is wealth, that is really the truth. But I want you to remember, financial literacy is number one. We talking about to keep you from slipping into poverty. You got to know. Don't pay all that high interest rate. Wait till prices come down, or you don't have to have it. Debt elimination, saving, learn the importance of delayed gratification, and teach your kids you don't have to have it now. Now, why do you have to have what is it, G5 or G10, whatever? Everyone come out, you have to have another one. And all you're going to do on the phone is pick it up and talk on and play games. Folks, that is insane. And when you allow your children to do it, I fault you. Because you need to say, you are not going to do that. You're not going to pay that much for a phone, and you can't pay rent. And you can't pay rent because I got my car note in my phone. Well, you sleep in your car. If that's how you feel, you take your phone and get in your car and take your blanket because you're going to pay something up in here.
Dr. Rosie, I'm going to tell you, I have an iPhone 8 Plus.
Girl, you doing good because I don't even have an iPhone. My niece looked at me. I was in Illinois on a family reunion. She had an iPhone 16, okay? She looked at me. Auntie, you still got that Android? I said, yeah, that's why I was able to help bury your mother, okay?
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you guys, make sense out of it. Teach your family, everybody come in earsight or eyesight and earsight. Talk to them about these principles. Folks, it's a new day and a new way, and we can't afford to slip any further into the sea of deadness and the sea of poverty. It's just time out for us bringing kids and grandkids into this world in the basement. Somebody should at least start on the first floor. If you don't have your estate planning, you want to get it. Get you a trust so you don't end up in probate. And last but not least, this show is going to re-air at 6 o'clock p.m. You need to get your friend and family to listen to this. Go to innerlightradio.com. I'm telling you, they need to hear this show. And you want to get my book, Creating a Budget Made Simple. Family budgeting made simple. You want to getting out of debt made simple, and understanding credit made simple.
Where can I get it from, Dr. Rosie?
Well, you can get it from our bookstore, Classic One Books and Herbs, or you can go online, 1425 West Manchester Avenue, Suite B in Los Angeles. You can get it there. You can go to, I'd rather you get it here because I make more money. I'm being honest. I make more money when you buy it from me. You go to Amazon. But a lot of people love to go to white folks. Well, I got it from Amazon, like Amazon know you. Amazon ain't thinking about you. You better get on over here or call me and order this book.
I'm glad you said that, Dr. Rosie.
Oh, yeah, they love. I have authors whose books are in my store, Keith. And when somebody asks, where can you get the book? Amazon. I said, wait a minute. Why are you sending them to Amazon? Well, that make them feel good knowing that their book is on Amazon. You better send them over here to Classic One and get that book. And I have them displayed at Black Writers on Tour. Plus Business, plus Text Expo. That's March 25th, you guys. It's going down. Everything is free except the exhibitor space. Free entry, free parking. All the seminars this year is free. Folks, we rolling we're going to be rolling it out because folks is ready to get together face to face. So go to blackwritersontour.com. You can check out the seminar schedule. That's blackwritersontour.com. You guys, this has been great. I hope I know we've shared some information that can help somebody because I'm tired of poor people. I don't know about you, Keith. Maybe you like them. I'm sick of them.
No, they follow me around all day, so no, I'm tired of them.
Be talking all that talking in time. Dr. Milligan, can you let me hold something? That's
Just
what you let you hold.
something.
Yeah, that's what you mean. What you mean that you hold? They got a new word when they want your money now. Can you let me hold? Yeah, let me hold something.
Yeah, we go back and get it from Vegas. You just left.
I tell you, I'm gonna
you
be
just
like
left Vegas. Go back and get it.
Yeah, go back and get it. You got. I tell you what, they keep on. They gonna make me start charging them.
Yeah.
And mess with me, I'll create another business.
Tell them about the YouTube channel, Dr. Rosie.
You can.
Oh, yeah. You can listen to all these shows. Most of them that we've done, you can go to Dr. Rosie's YouTube channel and you can see, you can listen to the one that we've done before. But y'all keep on messing with me. I'm going to put some interest on that money.
Definitely. Hey, and have some collateral.
We're going into usury now, huh, Dr.
Yeah.
Rosie?
No, not usury. Hey, we're doing it proper and have it attached to some collateral.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm going to start doing, making seconds.
Yes.
Shawanna,
So
let's
what
do
type
that.
of collateral do you have?
No, let's do seconds on homes instead of letting people
Second trustees, I do it all day long.
Okay. And you know what they're going to say? That Dr. Milligan, now she making loans. She charging folks.
That's all right.
I don't
they
care
need the
what
money.
you all say.
We don't believe in poor righteous teachers.
Call us.
Okay.
Tell them, Dr. Rosie. Tell them to call us if they need it.
That's right.
We'll be a second trustee.
That's right. Absolutely. And don't think because we carrying that note that you cannot pay it and get. See, she foreclosed on me. Yeah, I'm going to foreclose
Dr.
on
Rosie
you. Dr.
foreclosed on me.
You guys, I want you to keep your houses, okay? So do the right thing. This has been so wonderful. So all of y'all that's been listening, you guys need to tell your friends to get on here instead of listen to Fox News and all the other bull crap out there I hear you all talking about, because over here we throwing it down righteously in a way that can save our community. So spread the word. And you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget to tune in. Have a great one.
You as well, Dr. Rose.